I wanted to tell a story in the Russian-American community of Brighton Beach, Brooklyn for quite some time. We've been trying to figure it out for over 15 years. And I think it was just after my last film, Red Rocket, that I was thinking about telling a story about a young woman who realizes a little too late that she married the wrong man. And I think when we figured that out, it was like, okay, that's the eureka moment. We're ready to move forward with writing the screenplay. I don't ever like seeing my films as warnings or in any way telling the audience what to do or even what to think. I'm pretty objective in my storytelling, you know? I'm just putting a story out there for audiences to, to bring their own thoughts, politics, ideologies too. If they see it as a cautionary tale, if audiences see it as a cautionary tale, then that's okay. That's one way of looking at it.
15. Cash up front.
Deal.
I had a lot of time to think about the character, really a year since meeting Sean to when we were finally on set, so I was able to dive into a lot of research on sex work. I went to clubs, I learned as much Russian as I could, I shadowed dancers, I talked to some amazing consultants that we had on the film. I did some really intensive dance training. I really just tried to immerse myself as much as possible in all of the things that create her life. I think I went into my research on sex work without really knowing anything about what it is, or maybe just stereotypically what the job is, and so it's completely opened up my mind to that community, and I've fallen in love with that community as well, and have made so many amazing friends that are involved in sex work, which is something I'm really grateful for.
You're so classy.
I know.
I got dollar signs like a real...
We're definitely looking at power and power dynamics. And it's not just the relationship with Ivan, although that is obviously probably the most clear. Unfortunately, power often is directly equated to money. And so you obviously see two characters there in different economic places. But I would say that if you look, every character is treating the person just under them in terms of hierarchy of power in a disrespectful way. And I think that's something that I hope audiences see, that literally every character has that relationship with the person they consider under them. Also, I would say the other one is probably consent and what defines consent and how audiences define consent.
Ты женился на какой-то проститутке?
What?
Это она?
I was definitely playing with that, especially with 3 languages being used and with characters not knowing all 3 languages or knowing very little of one language, like Mikey's character being first generation and only knowing Russian because she had to speak with her grandmother. So yeah, I think that we are allowing the audience to to interpret how that theme plays out and what it means. But I think ultimately there's a reason why there's very little dialogue, if any, in the last scene. Because that's the first time I think anyone is truly communicating and there's no dialogue there.